This is Archie. I've done a video on Archie before, but this is like a progress video. And I've been walking Archie a few times and doing what I talk to you guys about with just exposure to things that make him reactive. What Archie's doing now, this is something he never really did on his walks with me because he was so consumed with noises and sounds around, he couldn't be a normal dog. But now, if you notice, he'll look every now and again, but he's starting to do normal dog things. Sniff the ground, stop and be interested. And I'm gonna let him do this. Other dogs you might walk on, you'll see a little noise behind him there, he reacts. But it's okay, bud. But then he goes back to his thing. So that's a really big thing for Archie. You can see a bit of his behavior there, but the fact that he was sniffing and doing that is a really big win for Archie. Just remember with these sorts of dogs, a lot of things people do wrong. One of the most common things is when a dog like this does have a reaction to something noisy or he doesn't like, people bend down and grab the dog and reassure him, but you're not reassuring, you're actually just reinforcing that behavior. Just keep moving on. Don't make a big deal of it. Don't let the dog get consumed by his thoughts and overwhelmed. Just move on. Just let's go and keep him walking. I want to be doing this. This is good. When he goes back to doing this, I'm going to let Archie do this all day because it means he's not noticing the noises of the world going on around him. So that's a really big progress for Archie. Good boy, buddy. Yeah, so like I said, by him doing the sniffing and coming to the grass and pulling me towards that, that's going to let all those other things go by without him being consumed. And before you know it, the more you do it, he won't even notice those sounds anymore. So don't let him draw attention to them. With a dog with anxiety, if they want to, this is beautiful, normal dog behavior, doing what dogs do. I haven't had this before from you. So I just want people to see this and realise that this is the sort of body language you're looking for your dog if they've got anxiety, because normally he's walking around and all he cares about is looking around, every noise, every sound. But the fact that he's doing this, we're getting somewhere. And if he does have a really bad reaction to a noise or a sound that he hasn't heard before, what I'll do is I don't necessarily take him away and quickly go past it. What I'll do is I'll go back to it, but I might move away a little bit to find the threshold where I know he's not too consumed by it, because I don't want to have a negative sort of memory from it, but I also want him to get over it. So I'll just move away from it a bit till I feel he's comfortable, and then sit there and let him sort of desensitize to it, and that's working really well. So move away, let him feel it. Even if it takes 5 minutes, sit in there watching it, then he loses interest in it. When he loses interest in that thing that's scaring him, that's when I know he's getting places. Then we go to move on to the next one. And it's just a matter of keeping on repeating that rhythm, that pattern. Find something that disturbs him, upsets him, move away from it to a threshold where he's somewhat comfortable, get used to it, relax, move to the next one. Just keep doing that and doing that, like the flags I showed you, and he's getting better with that process. Here's another area I actually had a problem walking past, which is just this cafe here. There's people, noises, music, very flighty last time walking past here. Now, it's more relaxed. A little bit anxious, but nowhere near what he was. Just by doing it again, and doing it again. Good boy, Archie. Good boy, bud. So this is an area I like to come to each time for Archie to see the skateboards. Yeah. See other dogs. Yeah, he's here for the socialising with people. He gets anxious around people. He's only young, but he's got a lot of fear-based. So he's just trying to get socialised around noises and people. It's okay, bud. Good boy. So I just had two people. They were lovely people, and they wanted to meet Archie. They said, "Can they meet him?" I said, "Look, he's very standoffish, very shy, and a bit nervous." And they said, "Oh, okay." And they tried to come up and did the reach out approach, where reach and put your back of your hand out. This method with any dog, but particularly a nervous dog like Archie, it's a good way to get bitten, because you're still getting in his space. Don't think because it's the back of your hand you have less chance of getting bitten. I know it's a method that's been around for a long time. The better method is you stand your ground and you let the owner bring the dog up. And if the dog wants to meet you, it'll come to you. But clearly Archie showed body language that he had no interest in meeting. So if you want to get to meet a dog like this and let him to come to you, you're going to need to put in a good 5 minutes. The other week at work, these people did, and they took a few minutes. They knelt right down, they let Archie come to them, and they got to pat him. But a dog of Archie's nature, like this nervous, shy, you cannot encroach on his space. So especially for anyone, but children, parents with their kids, educate your kids about how to approach your dog. If the dog doesn't want to come to you, it'll let you know. If it wants to be patted, it'll come up to you. And then you don't put your face over the dog, especially as a little child. But with Archie, you need to be very patient with a dog like this. You cannot force yourself on a dog like this. But overall, he's had a really good day today. Much less anxious, really, really happy with him. Still a bit nervous when people walk behind him. He gets a little bit freaked out when someone is sort of back behind him. And I just purposely look for that and try and get him used to it. But apart from that, big win today, Archie. Archie, you went amazing. I'm very proud of you, buddy. Good job.